Here we go, here we go, here we go. Every single week where we finish a game week at the top of the table, you're gonna hear me spouting things like, maybe, just maybe Spurs gonna win the league. It's a possibility, it could happen. And again this week, we ended up top of the table again. Yes, on goal difference, but considering we are playing Liverpool in about 2 to 3 weeks time, I'm not sure exactly when it is, this could change very dramatically. But as of right now, top of the table, and it feels so good. Hey, NarendraTheComic here. Right now, we're just going to be going over, reviewing, having a bit of a peek at the Tottenham game today. The North London derby, one of the biggest games of the season. It used to be a much, much bigger affair, in my opinion. But over the last 3, 4 years, 5 years, this game has sort of gone into the shadow a little bit. I don't think it really holds the same weight it used to, and I think that's because Spurs have always been the laggards out of the two teams for a very, very long time. But over the last 5, 10 years, it became a lot more competitive, and then especially over the last 5 years, Spurs have really come into their own. I think Arsenal are in a rebuilding process, and because of that, now Spurs are on top and Arsenal are not. And it leads to a very weird dynamic, because now, in my opinion, Chelsea-Spurs is just as big a game in a lot of cases than the North London derby. Spurs vs City, though, is also a game which I think from 2009-10 onwards has always had a bit of spice to it. That first season where there were additional teams really competing for those Champions League spots back in the day, and that final game where Crouch scored that goal, essentially confirming Spurs' place in the Champions League from the next season in 10-11. That was a really, really big one. And I think ever since then, there's been a bit more animosity in that match compared to what it used to be. But this was a big one today. Everyone had a relatively good game, and I think Mourinho's game plan is seemingly consistently working. While we didn't play that well in midweek on Thursday, I think this time round, he went with a full-strength team. He didn't beat around the bush. He said, we're going to be compact again. We're going to sit in. We're not going to let anyone break us down with through balls. People are going to cross. I think Arsenal had like over 25 to 30 crosses during the game, and about 90% of them were completely defunct. They were useless in open play. But the great thing is, he's found a way to make this type of play almost watchable. I still don't think it is. I still think when there are fans in the arena, this is going to be a real, real tough sell to 60,000 people to sit there and watch, just playing a deep block, not allowing anything in, and then just randomly going off like an F1 car down the middle of the park with Son, Bergwijn, Kane, Bale, whoever it might be. That part of the game, I think Spurs fans will accept, and I think even at this point, the fact we're winning, and this is the big key, we're actually getting results. We're top of the table, and this is how we're playing. If this is how it goes, and by the end of the season, we win a trophy, and this is the methodology we've had to do it with, I don't think 90% of Spurs fans will care. And at this moment in time, I don't really care either. The points on the board are the important thing. When I look at the table now, I'm seeing Spurs and Liverpool equal points, basically. But I'm thinking to myself, Newcastle, we should have got 2 points there if it weren't for a stupid handball decision which shouldn't have gone that way. West Ham, we dropped 2 points needlessly there. We could really be on 28 points easily right now, excepting the loss to Everton at the beginning of the season where we were awful. But other than that, you know, every single game we've been on top in generally. While maybe we haven't played well, we've controlled the game mostly. And this one wasn't any different, to be fair. Arsenal had a lot of possession. They were passing the ball about a lot. They were looking very nice at times. But to be fair, Spurs kind of seemed in control of the game. While Arsenal were on the front foot, I didn't really worry, apart from maybe one time with a flick-on header, that there was going to be anything really causing any trouble to Lloris. Aubameyang's been off the whole season, basically, so I wasn't particularly worried there, but you always have that inkling in your mind that Aubameyang's actually going to put his shooting boots on and score like a hat-trick. But didn't happen today. But to the point at hand, I do think that maybe Spurs should be renamed from Tottenham Hotspurs FC, right, to Counter-Attacking Football FC. I think we should go with that. And I know I did double football club there, football club. We're going to go with it because I do think that is basically the entire rubric of how we structure ourselves. We say, come attack, come attack, come attack. Then we're going to attack when you've been attacking, so there's no one defending. And if we can play like this against City, against Chelsea, against Arsenal, then I think we can basically do this type of format and this type of structural team play against any expansively operating team. I think against a Burnley, this doesn't work. Against a Brighton, this doesn't work. We've seen it. It's very tough to break teams down like this because it's just unrealistic. It's not going to happen. But against the expansive flowing football types, this structure works every single time. And I think it's going to be interesting to see how we set up against Liverpool and how that game goes, because I think that will be the real tester overall for the first half of the season, if this type of structure can work against them. And seeing how Aston Villa played against them, I really think it could. Dyer, stop taking the free kicks. I know you normally are on early free kicks during the game. Stop it. You're a defender now. You want to be a defender. You don't want to be a mid. You shouldn't be in among the goals. You shouldn't be there. We've got Lo Celso on the pitch. We got Kane on the pitch. We got Bale probably coming on the pitch soon enough. And we got Son. All right. Don't be taking the free kicks. It was a wasted opportunity in the first 2-3 minutes. I know it was inconsequential because we won the game anyway. But still, stop it. You've done it a couple times recently. Don't be doing it. Don't do it. You don't need to do it. Stop it. And it was indeed Kane and Son, the Kane and Son show, the Kane and Son double show, the double team, the double act. Everything's going on with Kane and Son right now and has been for the last 3 years, basically. They've been really smashing it for a very long time, and now it's finally coming to the point where everyone's noticing the brilliance of this duo. The dynamic duo? I don't know. But Son scored an absolute banger. Probably one of the best North London derby goals in recent memory. He kind of said, guys, I'm going to turn on the Super Son wheels and just go and do something that no one else is probably going to think I'm going to do. Came out of nowhere. Came out of the blue. You know, Super Sean, Super Sean, Super Sean. If you're Korean, you know the Super Sean ice cream advert. It's disturbing. But he is still Super Sean. And you're not supposed to be able to do stuff like that. That's why watching it, it's just like, what on earth just happened, boys? Maybe another goal of the month contender. He kind of won the December one last year, if you remember. You know, against Burnley. The cracker lacquer. So maybe he'll win the same month again this time round. He also assisted Kane on Kane's goal. Kane assisted Son on his goal. So this whole Kane-Son assist machine keeps on rolling on, which is great because while they can go and attack with Bergwijn or Bale or Lo Celso or Dembele, Hjulberg and Sissoko are there doing the hard miles, doing the dirty work. And I think Hjulberg was probably my man of the match today. He did another mad performance, a general like. People calling him a general. I'm going to have to agree with it. The guy is an absolute fighter. He doesn't know when to stop in all the good ways. I think maybe he's balanced out Sissoko in some ways as well. Helped him with his covering game. He said, you go here when I go here. And I think this middle of the park type of shenanigans with these two is really going to pay dividends as the season goes on. I think the one problem we have is while we have the deepest squad we've had ever, I would say, we are basically paired up in positions, right? You look at the back line, you got Dyer and you got Toby, right? You look at the keeper, it's Lloris. There's no one else. Thankfully, at the flanks, we've got Davis Reguilon on the left, then Doherty and Aurier at right back. But in the middle of the pitch, you're essentially stuck with the two people who you want to be there, which is Hjulberg and Sissoko. If one of them gets injured, I don't know if Winks can play in either of those positions. I just don't know if that's doable. Ndombele can come in and do the job, but I think him and Lo Celso are basically vying for that number 10 slot, essentially. Lamela, while I don't like him, is going to be in there for that number 10 slot as well. And down the wings, you got Son on one side, then you got Bergwijn, everyone else down from the attacking side of the pitch on that right-hand side. But up front, you got Kane and Son, and they are, again, paired together. So we got these multiple pairs on the pitch, where if one of them goes, I'm not sure the team can structure properly. But we'll see how that goes. Aurier, again, great performance. Probably his worst performance of the season, but I think that's just a testament to how much the guy's improved, because he's done a great job overall. Regardless of anything else, to be fair, the most important thing is occasionally, hopefully more often than not, beating down the scum, getting the job done. And I think this is the first time in a very long time that a manager has actually got 2 consecutive wins in a North London derby. So maybe, just maybe, this Mourinho scenario was a match made in heaven. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Mourinho, the man, the myth, the legend himself, will come after you. You don't want that. You really don't. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been Graham. We'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. Been doing it every day for over 2 years now. We ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Pop back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content, because we're hashtag never not here. You already know this by now. But we also bring the bakwas, and bakwas means nonsense in Punjabi. And it's kind of what we do on a daily basis. So see you tomorrow. More bakwas, more nonsense, more shit then. See you tomorrow. skadoosh.